Today on Best Ball Breakfast, we draft big board teams on Underdog Fantasy in a post-combine landscape. Will Anthony Richardson fall to the second round? Only time will tell.
Oh, another Influencer 101 for the backward hats, bro. Rigged!
Zach Ertz with no Tyler Algier bringback? Yikes.
You reached a round for correlation? That's a no-no. You ADP bros disgust me. How about you just live a little?
Handcuffing might actually be a way to get unique if the field's avoiding it.
The Wi-Fi at this resort is a disaster?
These fucking streamers don't have player takes.
What if a piss boy draft is the room you need?
Oh!
All right, GM Dijon Sossingson. Sounds like a name from Scott Aukerman on Comedy Bang Bang. I love it. Ryan Jones, GMs Knox. GM, what is up, Phil? Yes. Shh. Can't reveal any of the post-combine sleepers. I will say I've been doing a bunch of slow drafts, like a beta, and I haven't noticed a ton of change yet in the ADP. At least when I was on the clock, there were still guys kind of passing on what I thought would be risers. So I don't know, maybe we have a few days of trickle down effect before the combine, results are actually fully baked into ADP, but we will find out today. I'm guessing drafting with you sickos, it'll already be fully priced in. GM, what's up? Aaron, GM. Casey Settleman, best ball thought leader from the summer, now back in these streets. Welcome, Casey. That's how you know we're really back. That's how we know we are back. What is up? J Mike, Mondays in March are for coffee and big boards. It is nice to say, there's a difference in saying you're drafting best ball teams in February that just feels sad. It just feels like we need to find something better to do. But saying drafting best ball teams in March, I kind of like it. I think it's fine. I think it's justifiable. What is up, C-Rock? C-Rock, of course, if you guys watch Ship Chasing, this is the maestro behind the Darnell Washington clip. So everyone is always wanting to get out in front of which players are the ship chasing crew going to mush this year. We famously have mushed Ronald Jones, Laviska Shenault, Sky Moore. Well, we're off to the races here with a Darnell Washington clip. But man, talk about a guy who crushed the combine. What did he have? The largest wingspan of a tight end ever at the combine, second largest hands, and then ran, I think it was a 4.08 short shuttle, which was the fastest for a player over 260 pounds since Frank Clark, I think a long time ago. So Darnell Washington, we're going to do our best to mush him over on Ship Chasing. Ryan's going to try to hop in the draft today for the first time, usually just a viewer. Good luck. Unlike Spags over on Splash Play, I am not going to try to shotgun start this. When I share the screen, you will know I am entering the draft. What is up, Willis? Get those nimble fingers ready. What is up, Paul? Let's see here. Chris says he's slowly realizing how diseased my brain is to be pumped for a post-combine best ball stream. I mean, it is fun, right? Like, we find it is a meaningful data point. I think we learned a decent amount yesterday. Some things I feel like it solidified for us. I initially thought it was a little bizarre where Jackson Smith and Jigba was going ahead of Jordan Addison, Quentin Johnson, guys that I thought were going to maybe have higher draft capital than him. But after yesterday or the weekend and how things shook out for those rookies and JSN absolutely destroying the agility drills and Jordan Addison coming in really slow and small, I do think where the market was drafting JSN there in the mid-fifth, I think that's proven to be justified. I think that was the right read there. The market was also firmly on Jahmyr Gibbs as the RB2 behind Bijan, and I think that looks solidified with his super fast 40 time. I would say what doesn't feel fully solidified is just all of the running backs still from like RB3 to RB10, just because so many of them don't run the agility drills. So much with landing spot will matter. So I don't know if I feel, super confident on reordering those running backs, but definitely some interesting data points to consider. I think the tight ends will ultimately be one of the big takeaways. Not only the guys we were already drafting, the Michael Mayer, the Dalton Kincaid, but now we have all of these other guys who crushed the combine. Washington, of course, the Kuntz guy. We got the Laporta out of Iowa. So I don't know. I think these drafts are going to be fun, and I think we'll see some shuffling of ADP by the end of the week for sure. Let's see here. This is the true March Madness. That's right. I've been doing the Omni fantasy drafts that Ben Gretsch puts on. and where you basically draft a fantasy team, but it's across all sports, WNBA, women's tennis, the World Baseball Classic. And I was looking at Ken Palm ratings, trying to find some undervalued March Madness teams. But for the most part, I think my March Madness is going to be drafting. Will I do a DFK best ball draft? What's DFK? I don't know what DFK is. DeFi Kingdoms. How high does Richardson go now? Yeah, so, when the big board opened, right, he was like 208 ADP, a late round flyer. Then in the past week or so, he had shot up all the way to like the 168. And I believe I've seen his new ADP is hovering around 160, but I don't think that's baking in any drafts that have happened since the combine over the weekend. I have a feeling he's going to be in the 130 to 140 range. I saw a screenshot. I think Eric Bimefor retweeted it. Someone was in a draft after his insane, testing where he went in the 4th round. So you got to go get your guys, I suppose. But yeah, I would not be shocked whatsoever to see Anthony Richardson end up saddling up in that same ADP range as like Trey Lance and Derek Carr and Tua. Like with how much enthusiasm there is, once you get the label of the most athletic quarterback of all time at the combine, like the hype train is going to be impossible to stop. So I'm probably not going to have any more Anthony Richardson shares. Let's see. Oh, rookies and sophomores draft, 74% full. Yeah, absolutely sick. Absolutely sick. DFK equals DraftKings. No, I will not be doing any DraftKings drafts. Sounds like a miserable experience. All right. I think we need to do a coffee pour before we hop into one of these drafts. Make sure my coffee pot is secure so I'm not spilling all over myself. If everyone can just be quiet. There's some ASMR freaks out in the audience who like to enjoy this. So everyone, please. Strong pour, hearty pour, a nice post-combine ADP pour. Before we hop in this draft, one other housekeeping thing. As promised, today on this stream, I am going to draw for the winner of this signed football from the Watt brothers here. Nice Super Bowl official football that I got when I was out in Arizona. And I am giving it to someone who is subscribed to my new newsletter, the P.O. Box. I'm releasing that on Fridays. In those 2 past editions, there's a Google form in there. So you just fill out that form with the same email that you subscribe to the newsletter with, and you'll be entered to win. And I will show you right now, I have already prepped the wheel for this drawing. However, I will allow a few of you stragglers to come in. And I know those of you who already entered, you're worried about your chances getting dwindled, but I'm a man of the people. And if you want to still subscribe and fill out the form, I will add those before I do the drawing. That is my promise to you. Here, I can show you it right now. This is the current wheel of names for the football drawing. If you want to get subscribed, the link's down below, the P.O. Box. You'll then get rerouted to view the edition. Click the edition. You'll find the form in there for the football. Fill that out, and we will do this drawing after the first draft. That is my promise to you. All right, Casey's just trying. Casey, we're not even drafting yet. And you want me to put a shrimp on the Barbie? I do appreciate, though, that you're going from a Jamaican prompt to Australian. I do appreciate you trying not to get me canceled. Yes, I will pull a ruse for you here when we get started. Although, Casey, aren't you in California? It's 7 a.m. You're not even in an office. The whole point of this service that I'm providing is for people who are in an office trying to throw their boss off the scent. I don't know if this is passing the sniff test. 10 a.m. East Coast, 7 a.m. I think you're just trying to pimp me into an Australian accent this early in the morning, and it'll probably work. It'll probably work here. All right, let's hop in a draft. Let's hop in the draft. Big board, 30 seconds. Let's ride. Let's ride. Wow. Gem City Gridiron, floating an idea where I do a pre-pour before the show and not give it to the folks. I think I've done this accidentally before, Gem City, where I forget to pour, or I pour before, and then the chat starts to get restless. They start to come after me with their pitchforks. Where's the coffee pour? You know, I'd like to think people are here for an entertaining and informative best ball stream, but I know the truth. And I know it's for the ASMR coffee pour sickos. Speaking of that, I stumbled upon a TikTok account last night that is just a guy that unclogs drains, like sewage drains, like on, you know, public streets and stuff, you know, when branches have come down and then there's lots of flooding, and he just comes with his rake and he removes all the debris. And then you have like a sucking funnel effect of all the water immediately going down the drain. Incredibly satisfying TikTok to watch. So look, I'm not going to judge. I'm not going to pass judgment on the coffee pour ASMR freaks because I'm out here watching drain content on TikTok. Influencer 104 here. The draft goes Jefferson, Chase, McCaffrey. We're going to take Cooper Kupp. We'll take Cooper Kupp here. It's not like my favorite, the sexiest of these picks, but he'll get the job done. Oh no, Ryan didn't make it into the draft. I'm sorry. Let's see. Can I get this board? How do I get this board a little bigger? Is that board big enough for you guys? I feel like I'm chewing up a lot of empty real estate here. The thing is you can do this toggle screen, but then you guys, then it's harder for me to toggle back and forth. I think we're just going to keep this. We're going to keep this. It's fine. ASMR pitchforks are sharp and large, to be honest. Oh, AJT, this is a new meta here. Instead of an overflow draft, I got in the pre-draft. Okay, so sometimes the nimble fingers are a little too nimble. You blow your load early. We got a 112 in the overflow. Oh, you guys have seen this too? All right, TikTok. Our Chinese overlords are really pushing sewer drain content on us, apparently. Yeah, everyone watched this TikTok this morning? My God, I'm in the wrong line of work. Should I just pivot my TikTok account to exclusively ASMR coffee pours? What? Everyone has seen this TikTok. FF Doom says his wife just told him about that. My God, this guy's blowing up. It's so funny too, because you can scroll, like the one I got shown, you know, it had like 3 million views or something, but then I went to his account and was looking at the others and they would have like 75,000 views, which don't get me wrong, still a lot. You know, I'd sell my left nutsack for 75,000 views, but you could tell how satisfying the drain is based on how many views it gets. Like the 3 million one was like a 3-minute buildup of him trying to find specifically where the clog is. He's raking, and we're just all wrapped with attention, waiting for him to find it. And then when he does, oh, that sweet, sweet release. But then some of them he gets to really quick and you're like, all right, it's fine. It's decent content. But I think we all need a little bit of foreplay when it comes to our water drain content. Let's see. Do we have an avalanche coming? I don't know. I'm not ready to call it an avalanche. Anytime 3 running backs go in the first round, it's when Austin Eckler and Jonathan Taylor go in the second round. That's where I start to get worried about the avalanche. Ricky says, I don't really mess with TikTok. I'll see it in 3 months on Instagram like a real adult. That's my favorite thing, is these people who get high and mighty about not being on TikTok. Like Davis will be like, I'm not on TikTok, but I'll spend 2 hours on Instagram Reels. Someone's like, I don't do TikTok, but they just watched their 400th YouTube short in the past hour. It's all the fucking same, guys. All right. At least I know I'm getting T. Higgins or Devonta Smith, because Lord knows on this stream, on this beautiful Monday morning, I am not taking Barkley or Derrick Henry. Devonta Smith, come on down. Come on down. Yes, Kai, I will be releasing my fantasy unclogging ranking soon. You will be able to upload those directly to your water drain fantasy sites and draft off of those ranks. Oh, wow. Yeah. Willis already getting into the Galaxy brain streets early here. Week 17 correlation, trying to stack up these divisional opponents. Can you imagine? You know, people were so upset about the week 17 correlation to begin with. Can you imagine if I released a video with a straight face saying you should be stacking up divisional opponents in the big board? What would we say the true odds are? It's like maybe like a 10% chance that like you nail the divisional opponent correlation for week 17. The edges are thin out there, guys. We're all trying to chase Karade, and the edges are thin. We see Chris G here. Hey, Chris, is this your first stream draft? Because you're about to get buried by an avalanche, bro. Yeah, who knows what? Chris was popping his supplements this morning. All right, I am on the clock. I'm taking my guy, Breece Hall. I mean, come on. Breece Hall at pick 3-4. He's mispriced by about 10 picks right now, at least. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for this gift. Colin, am I the only one who stacks anymore? Well, here's the thing. I mean, stacking in the second or third round, it's very, very pricey. And like, I mean, I've done it. I've done my Mahomes and Kelsey. I don't know if I've gotten a Hurts AJ Brown yet. I've basically capitulated because my initial take was I don't think these QB ADPs are going to hold. I'll wait to get my exposure a little later. But now this big board contest is 50% full. These early QB ADPs are not budging whatsoever. And so now I'm stuck here not wanting to have 0 shares of some of these guys. But that said, it is a lot to invest in a premium stack. And on top of that, it's going to be highly, highly replicated. And again, not that we're worrying about dupes per se, but that start, there are going to be so many teams that have the Kelsey Mahomes, that have the Hurts AJ Brown, that have the Josh Allen and Diggs, that have the Jamar Chase and Burrow. It's just going to be very, very frequented across the player pool. So I don't know. It's I don't have a ton of early QB FOMO, but I have capitulated a little bit. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. Hang on. I'm trying to see if oh, okay. That was a StreamYard error on my part. Look at now that board is sitting there looking nice and pretty. That's on me, guys. That's on me. Now the board's looking good. See, this is a fun one too. I wrote about this. I did a strategy piece up on fantasylife.com about big board strategy and kind of that idea of trying to anticipate stacks. I think the only one that I still feel like is going to happen is Rodgers to the Jets. So when I take Garrett Wilson, I do like getting Aaron Rodgers. It sounds like right now, reading the reports, that the Jets are like all in on Rodgers and they're just waiting for Rodgers to take whatever drugs and do whatever, yoga retreats he needs to do before picking. But it feels to me still like the most likely scenario is Aaron Rodgers to the Jets. So I do like doing a little of that stacking, or if I grab Rodgers, grab Elijah Moore, etc. But other than that, I haven't been trying to crystal ball any stacks. Ooh, but GL Reed saying right here, maybe I get my Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall stack. Sammy says, Breece Hall fell to me like an angel from heaven. It's beautiful, Sammy. It's beautiful. Thank you, Bonesaw. Please, I'm begging you. I'm absolutely begging you to hit the like button. Ryan flipped the build and took AJB at 4 the other day and got a Hurts AJB Devonta double, which I don't think I've seen other than that. Now, this is the kind of galaxy braining I'm down for. When you are getting starts, and I'll admit, I will fully get to that point in Best Ball Mania 3. I haven't even gotten to that level of galaxy braining yet in the big board, but I do think that avenue is very smart. So you're leaning into the stack because we know how important that correlation is, but you're finding a way to get a combo of players that the rest of the field isn't going to have. All right, what do we want to do here? I'm going to, you know what? I haven't been taking Calvin Ridley much, but at 4.9, I think I'm ready. I'm willing to take the plunge, and then we'll see if one of these tight ends makes it back to us. Otherwise, we will be able to grab another wide receiver. Yeah, people pointing out card to the Saints. I know that over the weekend, the Saints did some salary cap maneuvering, freeing up space there. It does seem like Carr to the Saints. Definitely makes sense. Wanted me to get the Lamar Mark Andrews stack. I have a few of those. I already have a few of those. Wait, did this news actually just break? All right, there you go. The Saints are closing in on a deal with quarterback Derek Carr per rap sheet. There you go. Breaking news. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. I mean, I think it's what? Derek Carr to the Saints is what? It's probably like good for Olave. And I don't know. It's probably just neutral for Derek Carr. Let's see. What do we want to do here? So my tight end targets went. Do we want to take? We could stack up Calvin Ridley with Trevor Lawrence. I have not done that stack yet because I found it too expensive. Is this our time where we get our Trevor Lawrence stack? I can't take Trevor Lawrence over Lamar Jackson. That just feels gross. Let's take Lamar. Every man has their breaking point. And mine is I can't pull the trigger on Trevor Lawrence over Lamar Jackson. That is true. It is good for Rodgers to the Jets. What about Taysom? I cannot wait to do this Taysom Hill thing again this year. Absolutely cannot wait. This is my thoughts exactly. Tyler says Lawrence over Lamar is jumping the shark. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. Do you think ADP on Trevor Lawrence will bounce back down or just too much hype? That's a good question. I still maintain that when we get landing spots for a lot of these rookies and kind of free agent shuffling, like traditionally rounds 4 through 6, that's always been a range too where the running backs get pushed up. The whole reason it became the running back dead zone is because the running backs get pushed up there based on projectable volume. And because we have so much uncertainty in the running back free agent landscape and the rookie running backs, none of those guys who traditionally get vaulted up there are getting pushed up right now. So I do think once that happens, I could see a chunk of running backs, maybe some more wide receivers that kind of leapfrog these quarterbacks and push them back down to the same range that we saw Jalen Hurts and Trey Lance and those guys going last year, more in like the 6th, 7th round. So I do actually think Trevor Lawrence's ADP can drop a bit from here. Maybe not a ton because there is still so much enthusiasm about the Jags right now, but I do think he will get cheaper. Kyle says, Pete, how do I get you in a dynasty league? Buddy, I've been playing dynasty for a long time. I'm trying to prune dynasty leagues. I'm not trying to add dynasty leagues. I have one dynasty league that I played in for a long time, coming up on, 8 or 9 years, I think is when I first started playing. The first rookie startup I did was it was the 2014 class, because that's how I got spoiled. The very first rookie draft I ever did was 2014. So that was the Mike Evans, Sammy Watkins, Brandon Cooks, Allen Robinson, Devontae Adams, and also less luminaries like Cody Latimer was in there as well. Oh, of course, Odell Beckham. So yeah, I've been playing since then. I do really enjoy that one long-time league I played in, but the trend that's happened is I do love the idea of best ball dynasty. However, I'm completely checked out in those. Like I enjoy doing the drafts, the startup drafts and the rookie drafts, but then I just do not give one shit in season. And so I don't know how to balance that, right? Because doing waivers seems like a chore, but not doing waivers means there's no emotional investment in it either. So that's what I'm constantly struggling with there. I like a lot. I think I have a lot of these options at running back. So, I think this is what I'm going to do. I don't want to risk out missing on Bateman because I want to have my stack with Lamar. So I'm going to reach a little, grab Bateman, and then be okay with one of these other top running backs or wide receivers who come back. But if I got sniped on Bateman, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. And I know G's loading up on wide receivers. I got a piss boy side of the draft here, so I must protect my wide receiver at all thoughts. Kyle, 25 dynasty leagues. That's a sickness. That's a sickness. Yeah, I don't know. Like here's the truth. Here's the truth. I need to get in a high stakes dynasty league. I need to be incentivized to care. It is really hard to devote the time. Like, I'm so all in with everything, right? Like, if I go all in on a dynasty league, I absolutely cannot justify spending hours and hours and hours on a $50 dynasty league. I just can't. There's too much shit I have to do and things I want to get done and content I want to make and streams I want to do for me to devote my time to that. But if I could get in like a pretty high stakes dynasty league, then maybe I would feel compelled that the juice is worth the squeeze. Let's take Dobbins here. We'll just build out this Baltimore bet. For the audio listeners, so far, this draft, Lamar Jackson at quarterback, Breece Hall and J.K. Dobbins at running back. And also, can I get a little value hound here on J.K. Dobbins? ADP of 69.9. Nice. I get him at pick 76. Our wide receivers, Cooper Kupp, Devonta Smith, Calvin Ridley, and Rashad Bateman. I like this team. I like this team so far. I know it. Willis is saying Chris would have sniped me on Rashad Bateman. I know. I'm always thinking one step ahead. This is like when I played like in high school, when I started playing poker a ton, and I would clean up against my buddies. Like, I knew how to play poker against my buddies. And then I would go to some of the casinos and stuff when I, turned 18. And then I would get my shit handed to me because I'm like, oh, I don't know how every single person at this table plays because I've played thousands and thousands of hands with them. That's how I am in these best ball breakfast drafts. I see G and I know what he's going to do from a mile away, and I can react accordingly. That's the one benefit of the friends and family draft, is you can predict tendencies a little bit easier. What's the buy-in that would make it worth it? I don't know, similar to like the main event drafts we do over on Ship Chasing. I think if I had a $2,000 buy-in dynasty draft, I would be pretty invested in it. Because again, one of the best things about dynasty is the fact that you can have so many teams participating with very different goals. And like the best dynasty leagues have like 6 teams that are going for it to win the championship and 6 teams who are rebuilding. And then those different approaches lead to lots of potential deals. But to get those deals done, you got to be pounding the pavement. You got to be sending emails. You got to be going back and forth. I don't have time to go back and forth with someone on a trade, to like marginally improve our 2 teams. So that's where I struggle with it. I think I'd need a high stakes buy-in. I'd want to co-manage it with someone, and I'd really want to do it right. I want to be working the phone lines to try to make deals. I mean, those are the most success I've had in leagues, have been being very persistent with deals, but it takes a lot of time. Trying to readjust the draft board. Anything else interesting going on in this draft? I have noticed Rachaad White starting to creep up a bit, all the way up to pick 87 after the Leonard Fournette news. Yeah, his ADP at 96.8. He was going well in the hundreds before that Leonard Fournette stuff. So interesting to see him really creeping up of late. Let's see here. Our tight end situation. Lots of quarterbacks, lots of running backs, very little wide receivers available. I was probably going to take Tony if he fell, but now I do not think we are going to do that. No really quarterbacks I need to go out of my way to stack here. Best available quarterbacks, Kirk Cousins, Tua, Trey Lance, and Daniel Jones. Wait, I was like, did Anthony Richardson already go off? So we do see Anthony Richardson's ADP up here. It is all the way up to 155. I will place a large bet that he goes before that in this draft. What do we want to do here? Do we want to just slightly value hound James Cook? I don't think I've gotten a lot of James Cook. I really don't want any of these wide receivers. I could take a tight end. I could take Darren Waller. Should we take Darren Waller? Let's take Darren Waller. Fine. Darren Waller got married over the weekend. Little post-marital bump here for Darren Waller's ADP. He's moved up from pick 94.2 to pick 93 after getting married over the weekend. KZ, let me get to it in peace. Did I play Full Tilt or Poker Stars? So what was really funny was early on when I was in high school, I think I've told this story once before somewhere. I can't remember where. I played on a site called Pacific Poker, and they had this thing where they had this like randomized bonus thing where my friend and I discovered every like 10th account you created, a free account, they would give you like $10 in real money to play with. The catch was you could not withdraw it until you had run it up to at least $200. It was like $200 or $300. So my friend Ron and I would just be spraying new accounts. And then anytime we got the account with the bonus, we would try to run that account up. And because we were impatient, we wouldn't just like try to grind it up. Let me make a pick here. All right, we can take Cook here. Let's take James Cook. Because we were impatient, we wouldn't just try to slowly build the roll. We would basically just play heads up challenges and just try to run it right up to 200. And then you didn't have to have a credit card or anything because you had the free play. And so then you could request a check to be sent to you. So I would have these checks from Pacific Poker being sent to my house, these $200 checks. And my mom is like freaking out. She's like, are you gambling online? Did you get my credit card? How are you playing online poker? And I was like, I've never given a credit card, never done anything. Do I have 3,000 fake email addresses? Yes, Mom. But if that's all I'm guilty of, send me away. But yeah, Pacific Poker was the main place that I played back in the day. That would have been when I was really grinding. That was summer of 2004 was my big Pacific Poker days. Paul says he is catching up at 1.75x. Does it mean like I sound like this? Is there a name for being behind on a live stream? Yeah, we'll have to come up with a name from that. You're chasing stream. Jason says, should we stop the Pat chasing and just be thankful we know him? That's no fun. Exactly. No, we can't just be constantly showering Pat with praise. We need to be chasing him down. If you guys were subscribed to the PO box, I did write about that on Friday. Also told some origin stories of how Pat and I met, some of the early podcast stuff we were working on. And now one of us is a 2 millionaire and the other is drafting best ball teams in March. Ooh, now Paul's asking the right questions. Any notable free agent QBs at Waller's wedding? I'll admit, I didn't do my 10,000 hours of research on this wedding. I saw the one photo of Darren Waller, but who knows? Was Odell Beckham at the wedding? What round is the overflow draft in? Christopher says you guys are cruising through it. This is a good question from AJ. What ADP does Kamara start to peak interest? I guess maybe like in the 11th. Like once he's in the David Montgomery range. Where's David Montgomery going? Yeah, pick 118. I think that's where, like, doesn't it feel like Kamara should be in the Montgomery and Zeke range? Maybe slightly ahead of those guys, but for me, he's still a very tough click. Yes, one of the classic lines that was included in that when I once compared one of Pat and I's high stakes teams to the Oregon Trail, CJ Procise has cholera. Hello, Sam. Hello, Sam Berman. What are we going to do here? Do I see anything at quarterback I want to do yet? Or do we want to? I think I'm going to just take Tyler Boyd. Feel like I still need some wide receiver ammo here. And because I'm setting up the Week 17 Baltimore-Cincinnati matchup, of course, it's Lamar Jackson, J.K. Dobbins, and Rashad Bateman. with the underutilized Tyler Boyd bring back? Thank you, Andrew. Andrew referencing some of the old Fantasyland podcasts we did on ship chasing. We did do a really big, probably the episode I'm most proud of, a big profile on Chris Wessling. And, we did that after his first bout with cancer. And then, of course, he did pass away a couple years ago. But anyone who knows Chris or, might be interested in that story, I do highly recommend that one. The unfortunate thing right now is those episodes are very hard to find. Like the original podcast feed they were posted on is now defunct. RotoViz did do a rerun of all of them like a few years ago. I should go curate those links just so they're all easily accessible in one place, but they are all listenable in some form. It just takes some digging right now. All right, let's see what Chris is doing. Should I take Rodgers? Should I do my Rodgers to Breece Hall stack? Why not? Why not? We got the rare quarterback, running back stacks going today. Lamar Jackson to Breece Hall and Aaron Rodgers, presumably to Breece Hall. Or sorry, Lamar Jackson to J.K. Dobbins. Aaron Rodgers to Breece Hall. Has Anthony Richardson gone yet? I feel like we are now firmly on Anthony Richardson watch in this draft. We're in the 11th round. Quarterbacks who just went off the board: Tua, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff, Kyler, and Aaron Rodgers. One of you is going to pull the trigger in the next 5 or 6 picks. Ben is showing up late, just got here. Have you talked about the Derek Carr news? We have, man. We devoted an entire segment to it. We made an absolute meal of it. We broke down the fantasy implications for every single player on the New Orleans Saints as it pertains to Derek Carr's signing. I feel like the Saints are kind of doing the Colts thing, right? Where they're just forever in perpetual quarterback purgatory, where they just refuse to kind of bite the bullet and bottom out and rebuild. And you bring in the Andy Daltons, the Jameis Winstons, the Derek Carrs. It's a gross place to be. The Saints were truly, when I think back to last season, like if you had to rank I want to poke my eyeballs out when they're on red zone, the Saints had to have been high up there. There was just basically nothing interesting other than Chris Olave in that offense. And even Olave tailed off big time in the second half of the season. I just have a hard time getting hyped up about the Saints, but it should be fine for Olave and Jawan Johnson. Wow. Yeah, the AFC, and Patrick says NFC South favorite New Orleans Saints. You could pretty much justify putting any single one of those teams at the top. Maybe the Bucks. You can't put Kyle Trask at the top. But I would buy an argument that the Falcons win the division. I'd buy an argument that the Panthers, and I'd buy an argument that the Saints win the division. What a shitty division. All right. Is Colin going to do it? He did it. Pick 135. Anthony Richardson goes. So there we go. ADP heading into the weekend was 165. His ADP heading into this draft was 155, and he goes at pick 135. There is your Anthony Richardson steam, folks. There it is. Let's see here. Have some decent running back options. Honestly, some decent wide receiver options too. Let's grab A-Chain. A-Chain impressed me at the combine yesterday, ran even slightly faster than Jahmyr Gibbs. I imagine he is going to be a riser. I assume that, where do we think A-Chain now is a second round pick after that 40 time? And do we think he will be the third pick off the board at the running back position? I feel like he'll rise from this spot. Chris Carlton, welcome to becoming a YouTube member. I will say I've been thinking through kind of what my best ball streaming schedule look like when Best Ball Mania is launched, and definitely going to ramp things up as far as best ball streams, and also going to do some more stuff for YouTube members. So we'll definitely have some content available only for YouTube members like I did for DFS season. Let's see. I was going to grab Rondell Moore or Dobbs if they fell to me. They do go there. Let's see. Tight end. This is kind of a gross spot. I've been taking lots of Darius Slayton late. Why don't we balance that out with Isaiah Hodgins here? Ooh. I think Ryan says he got Richardson at 152 in the overflow. I think you're allowed to value hound that. I mean, when he goes 135 in this draft, I think you are allowed to get him at 152 in the overflow. Cody thinks A-Chain is too small. Yeah, I think I'm actually a little more worried maybe about, no, I'm not worried about Gibbs, but like neither of these guys are going to be asked to carry the ball 20 times, right? Like Gibbs looks like DeAndre Swift from like a measurable standpoint and what he can do for you. So as long as these guys are catching balls and they are ripping off big runs, I think we can survive them not being, massive workhorse running backs. I mean, the truth is like very few of these guys are a profile as workhorses, even have the body or the skill set to be that, or two, will be utilized by a team in that way. I mean, it really is Bijan, right? It's Bijan or bust for bell cow stuff, it feels like. Yeah, Tyler says A-Chain at 188, 5'9", 4.32, 40 feels totally fine. Pass catching profile, and he's in line with other great catches in his size profile. And this is the exact range that I like taking those zero running back flyers. Blair Andrews on RotoViz had a really good article about this a couple years ago, but looking at the sweet spot for the rookie running backs and where they traditionally outperform their ADP, and it's in this round 10 to round 14 range. That's where we saw Alvin Kamara when he was a rookie. He was being drafted there. Nick Chubb, when he was a rookie, was being drafted there. And so I'm almost willing to be fairly agnostic on the specific player, and just knowing that any of these guys who have a pulse, who have any one trump card, so in A-Chain's case, it's high-end speed. I mean, I'm perfectly fine adding them here at 141. Chad is horny for Chase Brown right now. Have heard some good talk. Were you impressed by Tajay Spears? The thing too, it kind of sucks, right, for these running backs because basically none of them do the agility drills. So all we're really getting is their weight, their height, and then their 40 time, which still is a good data point. But to me, after the Gibbs and the A-Chain and these guys who tore up the combine from a speed perspective, I feel like the jury's still out, where it's going to have to do more with their draft capital and landing spot to like shuffle these guys up. Are there any other running backs that, were in the running back 3 to 10 range for you guys that you're now paying even closer attention to based on what they did at the combine? All right. What am I going to do here? I have a 2-4-6-1 structure, 2 quarterbacks, Lamar and Rodgers, 4 running backs, 6 wide receivers. Man, I was going to take Michael Mayer. I was vamping to take him to pair with Darren Waller. Man, this is a gross range of the draft. This is a really gross range of the draft. I don't like it at all. I really don't like it. Where do we think DJ Chark ends up? Should we just keep loading up on some of these deep ball spike week guys? We take DJ Chark. Man, that pick. This range feels gross. And also just kind of where I was at structurally. I could have taken Singletary or P. Ryan. Ugh. All right, you guys are talking about other running backs you guys are hyped on. Chase Brown. Yeah, Roshan, Deuce Vaughn. Deuce Vaughn, 5'5". You got to love it. Cody wanted me to take Gesicki. I could still take Gesicki. It's not a bad idea. I would like DJ to stay in Detroit, although I do think you have to be a little worried about Jameson Williams just turning into an absolute beast. But if anything, that's just going to kind of free DJ Chark up for single coverage. I actually don't mind the Gesicki thing, right? I can still add a third tight end if I want. I'm telling you, I know we've talked about this on Best Ball Breakfast before about Gesicki most likely to leave in free agency, but then every single day I log on to Instagram and this dude is posting selfies with Durham Smythe. I'm telling you, these guys are more inseparable. Mike Gesicki spends more time with Durham Smythe than he does with his own wife. I'm telling you. I think it's going to be hard for him to leave Miami. This is my alpha. Mike Gesicki stays in Miami because his friendship with Durham Smythe is so strong. That's my take. That's my take, guys. Get your hands in the dirt, get on Instagram, grind some stories, and then come back to me with your free agent alpha. Okay, now we're talking. I do have double outs now, as we've talked about, right? Ricky says Chark to the Raiders with A-Rod. So I have Aaron Rodgers. If he goes to the Jets, I got him with Breece Hall. And if he goes to the Raiders, I got him with Darren Waller. That's some big brain shit right there. Get on my level. You don't have to guess which of the two spots he goes to. You just plan for both. Matt, you went to high school with Mike Gesicki's wife? Nice. Congrats. That's right, Patrick. You guys are here for 2 reasons only. Actually, 3. 1, the coffee pour. Speaking of which, I need to do another one. 2, for TikTok water drain content summaries. And 3, for Instagram free agent alpha for the 3 players I follow on my personal Instagram. I don't know why I follow Mike Gesicki on Instagram. I think it probably was back when I met Patrick Laird and I followed a few of the Dolphins on Instagram. I think the only NFL players I follow on Instagram are, well, not NFL. I follow Josh Gordon, XFL player. I follow Patrick Laird, of course, of the Tampa Bay Bucks. I follow Mike Gesicki. I don't think I follow any other NFL players on Instagram. So those are the only 3 players I can bring you alpha on. Patrick Laird, Mike Gesicki, and Josh Gordon. I can't be clogging up my personal Instagram feed with all these player stories. I need to see my friends' babies. Ooh, okay. Tyler Heineke just finished Lego build number 25 with custom lights. Not a girlfriend in sight. Hard to believe that building Legos wouldn't be a magnet for girlfriends. All right, I need to pour. I need to pour before this next pick. All right, did I see what was the chat saying about Zach Evans? I'm gonna allow myself to be influenced by the chat. What were you guys saying about Zach Evans? Or were you guys talking about Chase Brown? Now I can't keep track. Did anyone say anything nice about Zach Evans? Do I have permission to take Zach Evans? All right, Zach Evans, come on down. Oh, yeah, man. I don't even want to know what Mathology famous, splash play commenter, Deposit Kingdom member, a man who's really willing to roll up his sleeves and do research on the wives and girlfriends of NFL athletes. Pete says, can we see your best Gesicki gritty impression? That's going to cost you a super chat. Do I look like Jack Settleman out here that's just willing to gritty for cringe content equity? No, I'm going to need to get paid for that. Yeah, you guys were talking about Chase Brown, and I took Zach Evans. Fooled again by generic running back names. Mm. So structurally here, we are pretty balanced. I think I'd like to get a third QB. Do we think there's any life left in Allen Robinson? Is there any life left in Allen Robinson? My guy Tyquan Thornton's gone. You know what? I might just have to jump the line and take a fun rookie wide receiver. It's post-combine drafting. Lord knows Chris G can't take any more wide receivers. Shh. Yes, okay, the chat is already on to what I'm doing. But here's the thing. Jared says you should take Marvin Mims with your last pick. Marvin Mims isn't lasting until my last pick in this draft. I am throwing ADP out the window. I am living a little. I am taking Marvin Mims at pick 196, and I don't care what you say. I don't care if you revoke my value hound card. I'm taking Marvin Mims. Exactly. The chat is on board with Marvin Mims. Let's go. Yeah, poor Booty. Booty had a rough combine. We give the people what they want. They want us to draft rookies. I'm happy to oblige. Happy to oblige. Here's some alpha. Patrick says, Zach Evans transferred to Ole Miss, but really played behind Quinshon Judkins. A true freshman might be something. I don't know what that means, but it sounds intriguing. I did see this, Deadhead. Deadhead says the Rams just gave Allen Robinson permission to seek a trade and are offering to pay part of his salary. This guy's out here. This guy is so washed that the team's willing to give him a severance package. That's right. 2023 is the year we forget the Conchipsis and we live a little. For Swolecast fans, there's going to be no Swolecast this week, but I heard we're going to get the band back together next week. So there you go. If you want to mark your calendar, and I'll give you this tease. In the Slack channel, David Kitchen claims he met Treylon Burks yesterday. So we'll get that story. I'm surprised he hasn't tweeted about it. It feels like something he would have tweeted about if it was true. Kitchen's many things, but he doesn't strike me as a liar. So I'm going to have to take his word on it that David Kitchen met Treylon Burks. Welcome to the stream, Playoff Rondo. Richardson was at 135. Pick 135. Boom. You know I'm not a college football guy when I still read SEC as the Security and Exchange Commission and not the football conference. Per Fournette, the SEC is tougher than the SEC, though. Keep that in mind. Can you imagine? Kitchen strikes me as the guy that would decide to abandon Planet Fitness to buy like a super bougie gym membership to wherever some of the the Tennessee Titans players work out, just so he could just be on the elliptical kind of leering and creeping on them while they work out. Jared saw on Twitter that Robinson could end up a Panther. What would that do to Terrace Marshall stock? Probably sink it. I mean, this is the thing about even like the Trey Lance types, right? You get excited about Trey Lance from what he can do as a rusher, lots of touchdown equity in the red zone, big plays, but I think it overall hurts the stacking thesis. Because with as much as they're going to run, they're just not going to what am I going to? Sorry, I'm distracted now. I need to think shit. I really am left holding the bag for my third quarterback here, aren't I? Man, it got really bad out there. We're going to have to get creative. We're going to have to get creative here. I do not like this spot. I do not like this spot at all. I'll take Jelani Woods. I panicked and took Jelani Woods. I don't know what to tell you. I come here humbly before you. to tell you, and I'm an honest guy. I normally like to talk through my rationale for most of my picks, try to justify it structurally. This is a breakout player. This is a guy whose price is going to rise. I say this with complete sincerity. I have no clue why I fucking just selected Jelani Woods. None. I panicked. I was staring at the draft board. I didn't know what to do, and I clicked Jelani Woods. Sue me. Matt says, why are we drafting 3 QBs? I like drafting 3 QBs in the big board format if I don't get one of the elite ones, the top 6 or 7. So I do think Lamar, I can probably push it here. I could probably get away with 2, and I probably will. Like, I have no choice, right? Like, when we had the exciting rookies that were still kicking around back here, it was nice to tack them on, but none of these guys are moving the needle, so we probably will rock a 2 QB build. Guys, I know Woods is a gam, but I'm just telling you that wasn't why I drafted him. I drafted him because I panicked and clicked a player. Let's just double up on our Giants guys. So we got Hodgins. With Hodgins and Slayton, we're getting every single deep ball from Daniel Jones. It's just science. What about Richie James? Nah, screw Richie James. It's the Isaiah Hodgins, Darius Slayton show now, baby. One more pick. Our build is 2593. We're going to tack on one more running back. We're going to go to the chat. The chat, we are going to crowdsource my late round running back play. These are your options, and just be careful because we do have about 10 picks until we're up. But these are some of your options. Zamir White, Kenny McIntosh, CEH, Gus Edwards. We already have Dobbins, Kyron Williams, Latavius, Jerome Ford, Joshua Kelly, Jamichael Hasty, Zonovan Knight, Chase Edmonds, Dearness Johnson, Eric Gray, Hassan Haskins, Ty Chandler, Keaton Mitchell. Didn't Keaton Mitchell run a pretty fast 40 yesterday? Evan Hull, Naheem Hines, James Robinson. All right. I am going to the chat. We have votes for Dearness. We have votes for Keaton. Wow. An all caps Dearness vote here. CH, Jerome Ford, or Deion Jackson. Look at all these votes coming in. Look at all these votes. Ooh, Deneric Prince. Mitchell did blow up the Trey Sermon. Is this Hayden? Hayden, are you in here on Gem City Gridiron's burner account? Zamir, Kyron. I do have my little Raiders bet there. Evan Hull. Okay, an all caps Hull. I don't want anyone to have to yell in the chat, but I will just be honest. I'm a human, and when I see all caps, I react to those more strongly. Unless it's CEH's initials. Mitchell 43740. Aaron touting Israel. How do we pronounce this one? I need to get this one in my arsenal. Abanakanda? Did I nail that? Abanakanda? He didn't do any drills, right? I do kind of like the Kyron. This is one of Karane's heat check takes. Karane got me onto CH on ADP chasing. Karane's been pushing this CH bullshit. It's a total heat check. He's just trying to see what he can get away with because he's a multimillionaire. You guys might fall for it, but I'm not. It's a false flag. You think I'm selecting CH? Yeah, right. Hull or Prince? Was Hull still here? All right. Evan Hull. Evan Hull. Hit the hole. There you go. Final team. All right, KZ. Because I said I would put a shrimp on the barbie for you, I'm going to recap this team. And I just want you to know, if you're listening and you're KZ's boss, that he does good work and he's not just watching streams. Let's put another shrimp on the barbie. Lamar Jackson, Aaron Rodgers, Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, James Cook, Devin A-Chain, Zach Evans, Evan Hull, Cooper Kupp, Devonta. I'm losing it. I have to anchor myself with this accent by saying shrimp on the barbie, and then that gets me back into it. Let me continue here. Put another shrimp on the barbie with Cooper Kupp, Devonta Smith, Calvin Ridley, Rashad Bateman, Tyler Boyd, Isaiah Hodgins, DJ Chark, Marvin Mims. I'm like a cartoon. Darius Slayton, put another shrimp on the bobby with Darren Waller. That was like a New England accent. Mike Gesicki and Jelani Woods. You happy, Casey? The price is going up for these. The price is going up. $5 is no longer going to do it. $5 is not enough. I have to have standards, and I have to respect myself. I absolutely have to respect myself. All right. A few more entries came in for the wheel of names. I'm going to add those now. And we are going to spin. Let me recap the. Did I actually recap the team? I don't think I really need to. I just listed it off in an Australian accent. It's a 2-6-9-3 build. I think my quarterbacks are fine. Like the upside with my running backs, Breece Hall, Dobbins, Cook, and then 3 rookies. Feel like I have a nice mix of alpha wide receivers. Cooper Kupp, Devonta Smith, Ridley Bateman, and then some good fill-in guys, Boyd, Hodgins, Chark, Mims, Slayton. Tight end room seems fine. Waller, Gesicki, Jelani Woods. Perfectly fine team. Perfectly fine team. I'm trying to remember to label my teams. But I'm bad at it. I remember my stream teams. Shrimp. Let's do Shrimp Barbie is not going to fit, is it? Shrimp Barb? Shrimp Barb. We'll forever remember this. God damn it. Why didn't that save? 3-6. BBB. This is seriously just for OCD's sake. It's just not, I don't know why I force myself to do this. And I have to go back in and name all the other ones. Shrimp Barb. Whatever. There it is. There it is. See, I'm behind in naming mine because I did do some fast drafts. I've had a couple of my slow drafts finish. All right. Anyways, Sammy, the accent was worth it. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate that. Now I did it at least for $7 and not just $5. All right. It's time to spin before, and I'll hop in another draft after this. You guys have been great today. So we'll hop in another draft. But first, I do, this is for everyone who has subscribed to the P.O. Box so far. I appreciate all of you guys checking it out. Whoever wins this will be getting this signed football from the Watt brothers. Now, the moment of truth, we're going to do some shuffles. I will be emailing the winner to find out what your address is. And I will send you this football. Good luck. Good luck, everyone. Who is going to win? Wow, women's wins. And do you know what is so incredible about that? I forget what platform. She sent me a DM and she's like, will you stop promoting the giveaway? I want to win that football. So congratulations to Women's, AKA Bethany, one of the pillars of the Deposit Kingdom Discord, has been around for years, supporting the show, supporting the streams. So the football will go to a good cause. She also does a lot of great charity work through her running. And so I'm sure she will put this football to good use. So congratulations, Bethany. I will be in touch for mailing you this. Chris, you were, I hate to break this to you. And yes, I'm not, my accent went across the globe there, but Chris, not to make this too painful for you, but if you look really closely, you were a tick away from winning that football. A tick away. I see Chris Carlton right above. All right, this is what we're going to do. Last week, I tried to be heroic and do a bathroom break. I can't or not do a bathroom break. Today, I need a bathroom break. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to register for a draft right now. I'm going to feed the ducks. And when I come back, we will draft. I'll be back in 1 second. 1 second. Let's feed some ducks. All right. We're back. What do we get? Influencer 1-4 back-to-back? Rigged! Yeah, I'm going to have to force myself to get different. Lord knows we're not starting with another Cooper Cup team. There's pre and post overflows now. What, Ben, weren't you picking? Ben got in both drafts. Ben is dialed in. Thank you, Ben, for taking Cooper Cup so I can mess around with something else. Let's take Christian McCaffrey and risk the Avalanche. We'll risk it. Sorry, Willis. I let you down. I've definitely taken Kelsey a few times, but it's a hard click for me right now. I just like the late tight ends so much. Sorry, guys. You all wanted Kelsey. You didn't speak out loud enough. Underflow is good. Tanner just crossed over the Montana border and now can't join a draft. Are you driving right now, Tanner? Can I get your hands at 10 and 2? Are you a YouTube premium subscriber? How are you listening / watching this while crossing states? I know. I mean, Willis says, I know you hate the olds. I'm just out on Travis Kelce now that he went on SNL. Dude's just sold out, man. He used to be this independent rocker. Now he's gone corporate, snuggling up with SNL stars, with Lorne Michaels. Maybe it's kind of Donna Kelce fatigue. You know, I tried to take Donna Kelce down a peg during Super Bowl week. I don't think I succeeded. And now my way to get back at Donna is by fading her son in the first round of drafts. You know, I'm just trying to kind of self-analyze why I haven't been selecting Travis Kelce, and I think that might be why. It also looks like I might get buried by an avalanche here. First round, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, A.J. Brown, CeeDee Lamb, Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra. I promise, IT Scott, I just found out what Feed the Ducks is slang for. Feed the Ducks is literally the name. So StreamYard has these background music default stuff. And actually, it looks like you can upload my own. Maybe I should get some of my own jams in here. But Feeding the Ducks was one I started using when I did my GPP review streams during the season on Monday mornings. And now the people seem to like to Feed the Ducks. There are other tracks in here, but for some reason, the song called Feed the Ducks, and what's also bizarre about it is the other tracks in here are named exactly how they'd sound. There's Acoustic Cinematic. There is Dance Pop. There's Daydreaming. There's Into Space. There's Lo-Fi. There's Night Driving. And there's Rock. But then there's one called Feeding the Ducks. I read all of those other names and I know exactly what they mean. What does Feeding the Ducks mean? That's a rhetorical question. I know exactly what it means. It's more of a vibe. All right, I'm on the clock. All right, let's get T this time. What did we do last time? We did Cup, Devonta Smith. This time we start CMC and T. Higgins. You guys like the rock music? Maybe every time I take a running back, it has to be a rock track.
Took Christian McCaffrey 101. Taking Devin H8 ahead of ADP. Throwing ADP out the window.
Enough. Man, the Chris Olave Derek Carr bump is already happening in real time. Oh, I realized I didn't even have the draft up. Do you guys see what I'm looking at right here? You guys see what I'm looking at?
Start your draft with 2 running backs. They say Derrick Henry's over the age cliff. The haters don't know that Derrick Henry is working out with David Kitchen this summer. 2023, the year we draft RBs.
I don't know why I'm holding such a little guitar.
CMC and Derrick Henry.
All right. Everyone just calm down. Everybody calm down. Don't call me a boomer. I got caught up once I figured out that the rock music coincides well with running back picks. I couldn't help myself. Lost in the RB sauce. We lose another piss boy. Started hanging out with the wrong group of friends. Next thing you know, I mean, Derrick Henry, 7 picks after ADP. Ooh. I'm telling you, I feel like I'm shot out of a cannon on Monday mornings because I drink too much coffee because it's as I tell you guys, there's the first cup of coffee in the morning, you know, when April's waking us up. That's the normal cup of coffee. And then there's the content bit cup of coffee. Like where I have to brew another pot just for this stream. Next thing you know, I'm having to take bathroom breaks, doing Australian accents. And I did spill a little on that floor. I think I'm coffee drunk. I am definitely coffee drunk. Is this a 3 running back build? If Tony Pollard falls to me, I will take Tony Pollard. I'm saying that right now. Okay, he didn't fall. We're free. We're free. Free at last. Free at last. Are we finally going to get a Joe Burrow share? Are we finally going to get a Joe Burrow share? All right. I don't always take Joe Burrow, but when I do, it is, 14 picks past ADP and stacked with T. Higgins. Woo! Am I drinking that shit black? Are you putting shit in your coffee? Grow up, Christopher. Grow up. What are you doing? You getting eggnog creamer? You getting M&M creamer from the grocery store to pour in your coffee so it can taste more like candy? Grow up, Chris. Grow up. None of us need those extra calories. Drink it black, put some hair on your chest, draft running backs, and jam out. Oh. C-Rock wanted him. Sorry, buddy. The BitPot does make you do some crazy things. Caramel macchiato, Chris. What are you on a vacation in the French Riviera? Or are you trying to get a caffeine hit in the morning? Grow up, Chris. Grow up with this caramel macchiato shit. Correct take by Willits here. Black coffee is the best coffee in the only way it should be. I really want to take George Kittle, but I need to take a wide receiver. I'm taking either Keenan or JSN. I don't care what you do, Ben. All right, Ben takes JSN. I really wanted JSN. Instead, we'll have to take the original JSN. Actually, there's no way Keenan is as agile as JSN, but whatever. We need wide receivers. Sometimes they have to be old ones. Boomer Pete shitting on Zoomer breakfast beverages and drafting RBs. I contain multitudes, Tyler. I contain multitudes. I know. I wanted it. We all wanted JSN. Would have been fun. But Ben Haskell, Mr. Red Badge himself. The Achievers correctly says that I can't quit Kittle. What's the Breaking Bad gif of Walter White? Got me. Got me. I love Kittle. I think he should be going where Hawkinson is. I think he should be going at like the 4 or 5 turn. And I think he's even worth maybe a little bit more than that. So yes, I'm going to keep taking Kittle. Because Brock Purdy is going to unlock him. Nick, this would be a 6 start in 2019. I mean, I guess the Derrick Henry and Keenan Allen, sure. Was it T. Higgins a rookie in 2019? Or was he not even in the league yet, Nick? I don't know if this checks out. But I guess CMC, Henry, and Keenan Allen. All right, do we have any other interesting draft starts here? Brian here, Eckler, Hurts, Chubb. How many running backs do we have? So Paul has taken 1 running back. Flip Flop Life has taken 2. Go AZ Cards 2. All right, Daddy. Is your name Daddy Dick or Daddy DIC? That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate to have your name read Daddy Dick for the streamers. I think everyone needs to be more conscious when you make your usernames on Underdog Fantasy, which you should sign up today. Get a $100 deposit match with promo code Pete. But just be considerate when you make your name, knowing that eventually you will be in a draft with me and I'll be required to say what you did. And then I'll have to say Daddy Dick just took his first running back at pick 64. So if you guys could not name your teams like that, it would help me out. GA comes back to Henry and Allen. Is this a bit? Yeah, it's a bit. Doing a big bit. All right, I can't risk this wide receiver avalanche. Give me Traylon Burks. I don't know if you guys heard, but David Kitchen bumped into him the other day. Nick, you were literally going to Clemson in 2019. That's post-grad, right? You weren't undergrad. Don't make me feel that old. You were undergrad Clemson in 2019, were you? Come on. When am I taking Richardson? Well, he went at pick 135 in our draft earlier. What are you going to do, Ben? You going to be a pain in my ass again? You going to be a pain in my ass? Give me Gabe Davis. Come on down, Gabe Davis. Don't do it, Ben. Thank you. Thank you. Gabe Davis, come on down. Come on down. I thought I was going to maybe have to go running back there. Bust out a little guitar, a little rock. We're catching up to the Avalanche. I was going to take Gibbs. Kyle says Jahmyr Gibbs past ADP. I was going to take him if he fell to me. All right. Thank you, Nick. Nick confirms that he's an old man. That makes me feel better. Chase says Richardson is so bad. I don't understand, Pete. So here, I'll meet you halfway on this. I will say I agree his ADP is going to get too rich. And I will agree that his new ADP will likely not bake in the downside risk that he's either bad or doesn't play or has a Trey Lance-like trajectory. I will grant that. However, it really doesn't matter that much if he's an athletic freak and the offense he's going to dials up all these design runs and he's getting goal line carries. Like all of these toolsy quarterbacks who come into the league, they take time to like develop as a passer. But there's no reason that Anthony Richardson can't come in the league and immediately rush 60, 65 yards a game. Like, I don't think that's outlandish. So from a fantasy perspective, he still has immense upside. And if he does happen to put it together quicker than people think as a passer, then that's gravy. But I guess I'm middling my take in that a lot of the upside is going to be priced out, but I still think he can deliver even at that cost. Yeah, Chase follows it up saying, it makes sense. I just don't see him starting it all year one. I mean, I think at this point, right, based on his combine and the enthusiasm and all the reports that a lot of teams have him as the second QB on their overall draft board, I don't see how he slips past pick 10. I really don't see that happening at this point. I think someone will either take him or someone will jump up into the top 10 to grab him. And when you take a quarterback at that pick, like all the teams who would be moving assets to go get a quarterback like that, like let's just say the Titans like did it, or with Malik Willis, or let's say the Falcons did it with Desmond Ridder. Do you really think they're going to spend that capital and then have him sit behind them? It's just all these teams are so QB starved that if you spend that kind of draft capital on Anthony Richardson, I don't think you have the luxury of even sitting on him. I do think he starts day one. So I guess that's where I would differ. He would have to be just like historically bad in training camp and preseason to not get a start. This is a gross part of the board. What do we want to do here? What do we want to do here? Do we want to take Waller again? We can double down on Waller. All right, back-to-back drafts with Darren Waller. I guess the theme of this draft right now is taking like either post-hype sleepers or guys who failed at their elevated ADP last year, like Gabe Davis and Darren Waller, where I don't think that much has changed for these guys. Obviously, the Raiders quarterback situation is up in flux, but Gabe Davis was what, a 4th-round pick last year, now going 3 rounds later. Darren Waller was a 4 or 5 turn pick, now going 4 rounds later. So I don't know. I'll buy the dip on those guys. Any idea what Willis's ADP was around this time last year? He was a last round pick. Maybe he inched up a little bit. Someone can remind me. Maybe he inched up into like the 17th or 16th round, but he was never going that high in drafts. Ricky Beer is trying to give me his boots on the ground Raiders takes, but you're not fooling anyone, Ricky. I know you live in SoCal. I know you don't have your real boots on the ground in Las Vegas. You didn't even know he got married this weekend. I had to tell you that. So let me be the Darren Waller expert here. Man, this is a fun question. Do you think it's possible Trevor Lawrence ends up as the QB1 this year? I would heavily bet against it. Like if you were to splice out the percentages, I would say it's like, I would put it at like a 2 to 3% chance or less. Would you guys take the over on that? Maybe I'm being unfair. Maybe it's closer to 5%. But I just don't think he's going to run enough to put him up there with the ceilings that Allen and Hurts and Mahomes and those guys have. Let's see here. What do we want to do? I hate all of these wide receivers. Should we just raw dog Trey Lance? The original Anthony Richardson, Trey Lance. And then we could be done at quarterback? Maybe not. We'll see. I'm never going to go as far as to say drawing dead. Last thing I need is someone clipping this. Jags social media team out here. Peter Overzet on his Best Ball Breakfast stream on March 6th said Trevor Lawrence is drawing dead to finish number 1 at quarterback. But it's very, very slim. I stand by my 2 to 3% odds. Randazzler trying to pump me for inside Underdog information. He says, any inside info in rookie and sophomore and big boards for when these ones fill? This is, I'll be honest, I don't have inside info on pre-draft contests, but I feel pretty confident in saying when contests are full that Underdog will appropriately size a follow-up contest. They are not going to allow us sickos out here fiending for drafts to go multiple weeks without anything to draft. I do feel pretty confident in that. They will give the people what they want. Yeah, I know. The one time I don't take George Kittle, then I get Trey Lance. All right, my team right now through 9 rounds: Joe Burrow and Trey Lance, CMC and Derrick Henry, T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Treylon Burks, Gabe Davis, Darren Waller. We are going to have to cover some ground at wide receiver. We're going to have to cover some ground. Yeah, there was. Ryan says, if I recall correctly, there was a big board Superflex contest last year. Rand Dazzler needs to draft all year or I get shaky all day. I'm pretty sure Underdog is well aware of all of our collective sickness. And they are willing to help us out by providing us with our favorite drug of choice: drafting. Get high on life. Top Stat, do you genuinely believe there's a chance they go Purdy over Lance, or is it just smoke really? Trey Lance FUD going to be hard. I do not think at the beginning of the season they are going to have a choice with Brock Purdy's recovery. I mean, he still hasn't had his surgery. His timeline is very ambiguous. I do feel pretty confident Trey Lance is going to start the season. And then all bets are off when Purdy comes back, right? Because if Trey Lance struggles, he will have a short leash. Probably have the shortest leash of almost any quarterback in the league when Brock Purdy is healthy behind him. God damn it. Tyler Boyd, did you seriously have to do that, Brian? You seriously had to take Tyler Boyd. God damn it. That's sick. That's disgusting. I have to take Wan'Dale Robinson. So sick. So sick. Yeah, I heard this quote too. Kittle said in an interview Purdy was their guy. All of the players talk glowingly about Purdy, but unfortunately they are not the ones who make the decision of who's quarterback of the team. Man, look at what you guys did to this board. I'm just gonna have to reach to grab wide receivers because I'm just getting railed. Let's take Romeo Doubs. God. You guys have put me in a blender in this second draft. But we'll take a couple second-year players and fight the avalanche. We will fight the avalanche. Oh, man. Nick says we need a "that was fucked up" clip when Pete drafted Henry. I do want the record to show it was a very high T start, but we haven't played any rock music since. We've been recovering at the other positions after our high T CMC Derrick Henry start. Anthony says, worried about Dobbs with Packers being mocked to draft a receiver. Honestly, I worry about these situations far more for running backs just because their role in the projectable volume can just change in an instant the second someone's drafted. With wide receivers, I feel more confident betting on players who flashed in year one that I just think are good. And I know Romeo Dobbs, it was a little up and down and he was injured for a bit, but he was solid when he was on the field. And I just like betting on those second-year guys to take a leap. So there's all kinds of reasons why a rookie wide receiver wouldn't eat into his role right away. Either they're not good or they don't spend a lot of draft capital on a top wide receiver. Also, this draft is looking pretty weak, from a depth standpoint at wide receiver. So I don't know. I'm not really worried about if they drafted a guy who profiles similar or is going to have a similar role, like who would it be? If they took Jordan Addison or something? Yeah, I guess that would be fair, but that seems like a very specific run out to worry about drafting him. I really don't think so. Wan'Dale over Hyatt is blasphemous. I really don't. Yeah, exactly. Jalen Tolbert, man. Talk about a guy, all the opportunity in the world was there for him. And I feel like this draft class has a lot of Jalen Tolberts in it, if the combine and some of these production metrics are any indication. Should we play some rock music here in a sec? Might be time to rock out. What are you going to do this time, Brian? You going to snipe me again? You going to snipe me?
Time to take another running back. Who needs to stack up Trey Lance when you can take his running back?
Oh shit, I already got the music. I forgot I already took CFC. Let's try this again.
Kareem Hunt's a free agent. Used to draft him in the 5th round. Now he's getting greener pastures. Passing back, come on down.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine if I accidentally took Eli Mitchell? I mean, we talked last week about the bye week bros, how the bye week bros are going to be coming after us. Ooh, the handcuff bros, the anti-handcuff bros would have came after me hard. Top Stat says, why is the rock voice Davis? I think the real question is, why does Davis talk like a rock star? That's the real question. That's right, Willis. Taking Eli Mitchell on a CMC team? That's a no-no. The hardest rock song to ever use the lyric greener pastures. All right, what do we got going here? Should we do it? Do we need anything else at wide receiver here? God, this is a gross. Taysom Hill. Should I become a Taysom Hill slappy? I have not taken Taysom Hill once yet. Ugh. No, let's take Michael Mayer. Let's get a rookie. Screw it. Come on down. 13th round Michael Mayer. Who says no? I'm not taking Zeke. Get out of here. There's no rock song in the world cool enough to allow me to take Ezekiel Elliott. Man, I am burning through this coffee. I apologize to anyone else who has to interact with me for the rest of the day. I thought about taking Taysom, trust me. I considered it for a hot second. All right, final coffee pour of the day. The pot is kicked. No more coffee. No more coffee. And where is this dripping coming from? Jesus. Wow. Wow, we're already throwing shade at Michael Mayer. Dude runs a 4.7. Everyone's talking about Darnell Washington and Sam Laporta, and no one cares about Michael Mayer anymore. Here's my thought on Michael Mayer. Why draft Zach Ertz when you can just draft Michael Mayer a couple rounds later? Where did Zach Ertz go in this one? Like, why are we still drafting Zach Ertz? That's the real question. Where the hell is Ertz? Has Ertz not been drafted yet? Wow, Zach Ertz finally plummeted. Is this a new shift? Wasn't Zach Ertz going up here? Am I going crazy? Did Zach Ertz's ADP just absolutely plummet recently? I feel like I'm going crazy. Someone in the chat, let me know. I'm pulling this up to look at the ADP movement. All right, he's been plummeting. So he's gone down 14 picks in the last week, but I could have sworn he was up even higher than that before. Yeah, minus 14 in the last week. Hubert with a good question. What low-end QBs have legitimate 30-plus point upside? Danny Jimes jumps out to me. Yeah, definitely. We've already seen him do that. Hang on, wait. Anthony Richardson watch here. Anthony Richardson goes at pick 153. So almost 20 picks after where he went in the first draft. I think the other ones would be some of the rookies. I think Jordan Love. I realize I'm higher on Jordan Love than some people. I do think Jordan Love can do it. And I'm probably, do I take Jordan Love here to pair with my Dobbs? Actually, no, we're taking, hang on, baby. You're going to let this guy slip to me?
Got rookie fever. Tajay Spears. Gonna sneak into the second round. Tajay Spears, come on down. Your new starting running back on the Miami Dolphins.
All right, we're back. Man, does Pickett have 30-plus point upside? Ugh. I really wish I could say that with a straight face, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if he does. All right, team so far: Joe Burrow, Trey Lance at quarterback, CMC, Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt, and Tajay Spears at running back. Wide receivers: T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Treylon Burks, Gabe Davis, Wan'Dale Robinson, Romeo Dobbs. Tight ends: Darren Waller, Michael Mayer. God damn it, Bindles. I was going to get back on my bullshit with Tyquan Thornton.
Let's draft some fucking running backs. Oh, yeah.
Well, congrats, because that's all that's available. I'm throwing ADP out the window. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to be about done drafting running backs, but not.
This draft is about stacking your quarterbacks with your running backs. Joe Mixon on the run. Samaje Perine is the fun. Come on down. Catch those passes. Joe Burrow to Samaje Perine.
All right. There you go. I think I'm done drafting running backs. I can't sing anymore. I'm going to need to shift to tea instead of coffee if I'm going to be singing this much. All right, we are going to just spray and pray on wide receivers the rest of the way. We are going to spray and pay. We are going to piss yellow. We got Matt Corral chat discussion going on in the chat. Could Matt Corral start this year? Nick Bird is our resident Panthers boot on the ground, says almost no chance Corral starts. Beat reporters have said they weren't impressed before injury and that they want someone like Jacoby or a rookie quarterback. AJ says, can you imagine 15 years from now when April stumbles upon some of your content? I think by then I'll probably just like delete my YouTube, just delete my online existence altogether. Try to pretend like it never happened. I'll get a job in insurance or something. I'll wear a suit and a briefcase. Say, Daddy's headed to work. He doesn't have a bunch of skeletons in his internet past. I think that's my plan. I can't have her getting embarrassed at school. Her friends pulling up best ball breakfast, pulling up all the cringe bits her dad did. I thought about it, Paul. I did think about just pulling the plug there. It was a splash of cold water on all the fun we were having. Poor AJ trying to rub my face in reality when I'm just trying to, draft a fun best ball team out here in March. Now he has these existential thought exercises. I feel gross. I feel like I've already let her down. She's only 12 weeks old. This feels like a bit, Reg. What's the background song name? Funny you should ask. It's actually called Feeding the Ducks. All right, and I was going to take Mecole Hardman. Mecole Hardman likely going to be on the move. Man. All right, I'll take Terrace Marshall. Jacoby Brissett to Terrace Marshall. That's where we're at in this stream. We have to throw ADP out the window. We just need some goddamn wide receivers. This feels like a 10 wide receiver build at least. 3 more wide receivers, and where does our 6th luxury pick go? I'll let the chat decide. I'm drafting 3 more wide receivers, but we have 1 more pick. Do I get a 3rd QB? Do I get a 6th running back? Or do I get a 3rd tight end? Sacrilegious says, this one came to me out of nowhere, but if Sam Laporta busts, can we call him Laporta Potty? That's where we're at this morning. We're doing stand-up comedy. Thank you guys, everybody, for coming out tonight. You guys see this Iowa tight end who was drafted? See this Iowa tight end who was drafted? Yeah, his name's what is it? Sam Laporta. Sam Laporta. I don't know about this guy. I don't think he's going places. More like Laporta Potty. Crowd erupts in laughter. I'm on the clock. Whatever. I'm just going to keep taking Marvin Mims. Is Marvin Mims going to be my KJ Hamler? At least until his ADP corrects. Mike says the Titans are shopping Henry. That was always my thesis. The thought is, in this reality, where do I want Derrick Henry to end up? I can't say the Miami Dolphins for all of my free agent and trade target running backs. Who has a dusty running back that we need to replace? Where would be a fun spot for Derrick Henry? Derrick Henry on the Buffalo Bills? Excuse me? Look up Andre Iosivas? That sounds like a phishing scam right there. The Falcons trading for Derrick Henry. That would be wild. Absolutely wild. Yeah, I've been taking some KJ too. Did we get a consensus on what position I should take? Bears would be fun. I actually like that suggestion. I like that one. Derrick Henry and Justin Fields. If If Derrick Henry went to the Chiefs, would he go 1-4? Probably. That'd be such a, I mean, you just can't give up much for Derrick Henry right now. Like, I can't wait to see which donkey team backs up the truck for him. Tannehill with Burks isn't a bad suggestion. No, there's no way. Does Derrick Henry plus a first give you the 1 overall? No way. I think that's light by like 2 first-round picks. Okay, so this is the, now, man, would I get a retroactive no-no if Christopher's thought here that the Bengals let Mixon leave and then they bring in the big dog? Then this team would have Joe Burrow, Derrick Henry, and Samaje Perine. Would I get a pass from the no-no police if it happened retroactively, or sorry, after the fact? I hope so. I sure hope so. Look at these dusty wide receivers. Mac Hollins is kind of fun. Let's take Mac Hollins. Why not? UNC boy. I was pretty impressed with Mac Hollins last year. Had a few real nice spike weeks. Mac Hollins was what I wanted KJ Hamler to be last year. All right, 2592. Are we going to take Ryan Tannehill? Man, that just seems like so sad. I feel like with a third quarterback, if you're taking a third quarterback, I need a little more upside. I mean, in what scenario is Ryan Tannehill the guy you need? Okay, what is this? What is everyone talking about right now? Cevis? All right, what are we looking at here? Went to Princeton? Okay. All right, let's do one of our quintessential rookie prospect deep dives here on the stream. First, let's see what we're looking at here. This is Andre. All right, Princeton. Is he a track athlete? What is this? Okay. All right. Men's track and field. Versatile skill set here. All-time school. #1 all-time in school history in the heptathlon. Okay. All right. I'm intrigued. Oh, boy. Here we go. Someone just was telling me they're worried about Dobbs. Is this the guy I need to be worried about? Get out of here with this ad blocker. Shit, I'm on the clock. No. You're not going to see the screen. I need to make a pick. Oh, he's already gone. Just had a meltdown. Just had a meltdown. I don't even want to see who I just auto-drafted. Who did I just auto-draft? Cordero Patterson? I just auto-drafted Cordero Patterson.
Didn't want to make the pick. Was Googling a Princeton grad. Forgot track and time. Took the Falcons' third-string running back instead. Even the best fall down sometime. Cordero Patterson, we're begging you one time. Don't make me look like a fool. When does April go back to school?
Wow. That was a tough scene. Absolute tough scene. There's our luxury pick, guys. There's our luxury pick. 6th running back. Regretful Dad Rock. Forget Yacht Rock. Dad Rock. Regretful Dad Rock.
Gotta pick my Eskimo, bro.
That's a good punch up. Man. This is what happened. You know, I went to go research this guy you told me about. Then someone drafted him. Who even took this guy? Does he even have an ADP right now? Bindles, you had to take him 2 picks ahead of me. I was furiously typing, trying to select this guy after I got hit with the ad blocker on some bullshit Packers Wire article. It could have been worse. I'll just say this right now. It could have been worse than Cordell Patterson. It could have been worse. I'm spin zoning this. I'm saying it's a great structural pick. I think I'm going to just have to take KJ Hamler to get this bad taste out of my mouth. Are some of these real players? Puka, Nakwa, Bryce Ford Wheaton. This might be the most lacrosse-sounding white boy nickname I've ever heard. Bryce Ford Wheaton? That's not a real person. That's one of those underdog Easter eggs where they put in a lacrosse player from Duke in here. KJ Hamler, come on down. That's how we fix this team. That's how we fix this team, is with KJ Hamler, round 20th pick. Someone just took Ios in the overflow with a 1-5-13 Wood build. My God, you guys, why do all the freaks show up to the overflow drafts? Is this like rebelling because you didn't get in the stream draft, and so then you just really sow your oats in the overflow? All right, the final squad here in the second draft of the day: Joe Burrow, Trey Lance, Chris at quarterback. Come on. I always start reading my team right before the refresh happens. All right, quarterback, Joe Burrow and Trey Lance. Running back, Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry, Kareem Hunt, Tajay Spears, Samaje Perine, and an accidental Cordell Patterson. Wide receiver, 10 of them. Quantity, not quality. T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, Treylon Burks, famously friends with David Kitchen, Gabe Davis, Wan'Dale Robinson, Romeo Dobbs, Terrace Marshall, Marvin Mims, Mac Hollins, and KJ Hamler. 2 tight end build, Darren Waller and Michael Mayer. Thank you, folks. Thank you, folks, for coming on out. It will be fun to see how these rookies continue to slide up and down the draft boards over this next week. I'm sure I will be drafting plenty this week. I believe on Ship Chasing on Wednesday, we're going to do a deep dive into the wide receivers now that we have the combine stuff. And I know Spags and I are going to draft a team on Splash Play tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some shorts for Fantasy Life this week, and also going to write up a piece too, an underdog strategy piece looking at the post-combine risers and fallers. So you can keep an eye out for that later this week. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for keeping me on track. May you all have a wonderful week. And who knows, maybe this contest might be filled by the next time we have a Monday morning draft, but we will continue to be here every Monday, 10 a.m. Eastern, big board drafting in March. Nothing better. Appreciate you all. Catch you in the Discord. Catch you in the chats, in the comments. We'll see you guys next time.